Hi, my name is Prachi Shah and I'm a psychologist. Today I'm going to be talking about the experience of grief post breakup. Grief can be defined as intense emotional and physical reactions to any form of loss. This could be loss of a person to death, loss of a person to breakup, loss of a job, or even loss of a pet. Often, when someone who is undergoing a breakup shares how sad and low they feel after breakup, the responses that they get from the other person could be that, get over it already. This perhaps happened for a good reason. There are so many other people out there, you will surely find someone who suits you. Though these statements are actually spoken with the intention to be helpful, they can feel very dismissive. They can stop the person from sharing what they are feeling and thinking in reality. If the person internalizes these statements, they may start to feel very critical about themselves and may think that if this is such a trivial matter, why am I not able to overcome it? There must be something severely wrong. Here, I would like to take this opportunity to convey that grief following breakup is very natural, it is very real, and there are real emotional and physical reactions to it. When we talk about emotions, these could range from anger, frustration, fear, confusion, denial, shock, or even hopelessness and worthlessness. You think of these emotions as following a wave like pattern. Most people who are undergoing the grief process, they say that these waves they reduce in intensity and frequency as time passes by. However, there are something called as trigger waves, which can occur at any point in time and even after a year or so. These waves can arise from multiple reasons. So, one could be that you heard a song that your ex partner really liked, or you saw someone who resembles your ex partner, or even a significant date. It is important to emphasize that these trigger waves are a normal part of grieving and healing process. Coming to the physical reactions, breakup does have the capacity to throw your physiology out of place. If you ask this question to yourself, how has my body been reacting post breakup? You may get responses like changes in heart rate, changes in body temperature, numbness, muscle spasms, heaviness around chest, changes in your sleep and hunger cycles. These are all your body's way of reacting to the loss. This is not you overreacting or being dramatic about experiencing breakup. These are very real experiences. Research has shown that the part of the brain that lights up when we experience a physical pain, that is, a cut or a wound, the same part of the brain lights up when we experience a pain from heartbreak. In another research, MRI studies were conducted, and interestingly enough, they found that the brain of someone who is experiencing a breakup reacts similarly to someone who is under cocaine withdrawal. Now, this could be because of the dopamine reward system which is involved. To explain this simply, dopamine is the chemical in our brain which is responsible for making us feel happy. A reward can be anything or anyone that you really like. So, whenever we are reaching towards or doing something that we really like or reaching someone who we really like, our brain responds by releasing these happy chemicals. And this explains why when we first start meeting someone, liking someone, and dating someone, we feel very happy because of the excessive release of dopamine in our brain. So the dopamine level is all over the top at that point in time. In the instance when we break up, there is emotional withdrawal from our partner, and the sense of loss of connection with them leads to the dopamine levels to drop excessively significantly low. Now your body is wondering as to where did all the dopamine go away so suddenly, and the physical reactions are the expression of these feelings, expression of the loss of dopamine in your body. Now, in order to get the high again, like in cocaine withdrawal, you may want to reach out to the source of this dopamine. As you would have rightly guessed, the source of the dopamine in case of cocaine withdrawal would be the drug, and in case of breakup would be the person, would be the ex-partner. This is why you may have a strong desire and urge to reconnect with your ex-partner. You may do this either verbally or non-verbally. Verbally could be by texting or calling them, and non-verbally could be browsing through your photographs or their social media account. Engaging in these sort of behaviors like calling them or texting them or going through their social media, it may give you a sense of relief in that moment, because the brain perceives this as reconnection with your ex-partner and the dopamine is released. However, in the long term, as we know, that this creates dependency, and this is an unhealthy way of grieving the process. This brings me to the next part, which is some of the ways in which we can identify that this process could be actually unhealthy. One would be, as we just mentioned, it's reconnection with your ex-partner. Second, which can be related to the first one, is that you may have the closure conversations more than once. You may have thoughts like, I want to call them just one more time, I want to tell them off one more time and just see them one more time, and then it would be over. Third, instead of being a nurturing parent towards yourself, you may engage in activities that are actually harmful. Maybe it could be as basic as not eating well, not sleeping well, or consuming excessive of alcohol, or smoking more. Fourth, you may blame or shame yourself for not being able to save the relationship. Talking about now how healthy grief could look like, one is that you learn to stay with the negative emotions and reflect on them as opposed to reacting on them. So, for example, if you have an urge to reconnect with your partner, you take a step back and reflect on how you are feeling and why you are feeling like this. This is actually a very natural process. We as humans are wired for connection and attachment. That is why you are feeling this urge to connect with them again. It is important to remind yourself this, and that this is just an urge and it need not be reacted upon. You can do anything in this moment to distract yourself. For example, you can do something that you like. As we now understand that doing things that we like can also lead to our brain releasing more of the happy chemical. The idea is to refrain from getting the dopamine from our ex-partner. Second is that you may be working towards building self-awareness and relational awareness. You may be reflecting on some questions like, who am I? What do I like to do? What do I allow in a relationship? What do I not allow in a relationship? What were some of the flaws that were on my part when I was in the relationship? What were some of the flaws of my ex-partner, and what did we learn in this process? Reflecting on these questions will make you more aware, and these responses will actually help you to make an informed decision and better choices in your coming relationships. Third, you try and re-engage in your life. You find out different ways of reconnecting with your friends and family. You start taking small steps towards taking care of yourself. Lastly, please embrace the duality of this process. You could be having a healthy grieving process and still be feeling a range of emotions like sadness, anger, frustration, confusion. It is in working through these difficult emotions, in trying to find various ways in which you can soothe yourself, and choosing the way you would want to behave, that healing and progress lies.